So I kinda realized that whenever I did a Sonic month, I just failed miserably. I couldn't get more than 1 or 2 videos done within the 1-month time frame. So I figured, screw it. I'll just review Sonic games whenever I feel like it. And although I really should be doing a Sonic Frontiers video, I've already played through it like twice, the final bit of DLC comes out really soon, so I might as well wait until that's out, and then review it all as one full package. And in the meantime, Sonic Spinball. It might seem a bit random, but I've actually never sat down and played this game, so let's give it a shot. It's weird just how much pinball there is in the Sonic franchise. I mean, I get it, they're fast-paced games where you often roll up into a ball. It's match made in heaven. But really, sometimes I can't help but feel that there might be a bit too much pinball included. Like, they return to this well a lot. That's all I'm saying. The plot is... Actually, is there a plot? I guess it's that Eggman is up to no good, and then Tails and Sonic fly up to his intimidating island palace that he has apparently, and decide that this time around you're gonna be a pinball. Life choices. So your goal is to collect all of the Chaos Emeralds and defeat Eggman, freeing all of the animals that he's captured in the process. Yep. All the emeralds. All 16 of them. Every level has multiple Chaos Emeralds to find, and they total 16 by the end of the game. I guess there used to be more than 7, and then they retired the rest later on. So yeah, the game is pinball, with the twist being that you have some control over Sonic's horizontal movement while airborne, and that you control Sonic normally whenever he's standing on a flat surface. Although this accounts for a shockingly small amount of the game. Most of the time, you're just playing pinball. I don't like pinball. I really don't. Yeah, maybe take this review with a bit of a grain of salt, folks, because I am someone who hates pinball. I have never enjoyed it much. Whenever a Sonic game forces me to play pinball in any way, shape, or form, I usually get a bit annoyed. I've always been curious about this game, though, and what sets it apart from other virtual pinball games. But yeah, not exactly entering this with the highest of hopes. Like, what do I have to say about this? It's pinball. You press the face buttons to control the paddles, and the D-pad to control Sonic's movement. It would definitely feel a lot better and more natural to control the paddles with shoulder buttons, but since the Genesis controller didn't have shoulder buttons, this is what you get. It works perfectly fine, but I did admittedly go to press the shoulder buttons on my classic controller a few times on accident, just out of instinct. My personal thoughts on pinball are pretty simple, honestly. I don't enjoy games where I feel like I don't have control over what's happening. The worst thing in a video game is to die and feel like it wasn't your fault. And in pinball, you have little control over what's going on. It's a lot of flailing around the paddles and hoping that your ball goes where you want it to. Now, I get that in pinball, you actually do have some control. I'm sure that there is a science to it. The angle you hit the ball, the timing, all that. But I have never gotten a handle of that at all. And I really do not enjoy pinball enough to play it enough to learn. So anytime I end up playing pinball, I just hate it. Every time I think that I figured out how to knock the ball in a specific direction, I don't. Like, I'll pull something off once, get the ball to travel up a tunnel that I needed to, or hit an enemy that I was trying to aim for, and then never again. Never again will I be able to do that. I guess I'm mostly just using this review to vent about pinball, huh? And I will say, if you like pinball, that's great. I hate pinball, it just kind of frustrates me having so little control. Never found it fun, but if you like it, that's awesome. I wish I liked it more. I get it. I totally get it. It's just always really annoyed me how much pinball they cram into Sonic games. Right, Sonic. We're reviewing a Sonic game. Let's get back on track. The graphics are good. They're not groundbreaking. There are better looking Genesis games, but there's also far worse. The game looks nice. It's colorful. The animations on Sonic are nice and fluid, although there's not a ton since you're in a ball most of the time. The visual design of the levels is nice. They all look like clearly distinct locations with their own visual elements, while also mixing in all the things you'd expect to see on a pinball table. It looks good. The music is a bit more of a mixed bag, but it's good. It's definitely very Genesis, super crunchy and funky sounding music. But there aren't that many songs in this game that I think will get stuck in your head later, and one particular piece of music is not very good at all. Those who have played probably know what I'm talking about. My ears are bleeding. Even with the extra control you have over your ball, Sonic, I still can't get the game to do what I want it to. I just find pinball so annoying. I had trouble even beating the first level of this game. God, I suck. This game sucks. Everything sucks. Pinball sucks. I got as far as unlocking the boss. No idea how I'm supposed to get to it, but I'm assuming it's in this area. But then I died before I could get back up there. Start over. Start over. You get 3 balls, or 3 lives, and then start over. The whole game too, not just the level you're on. Start over. Excuse me for a moment while I let off some much needed steam. I promise that afterwards I will be more fair to the game again. This sucks. I can't help but lose my patience after 10 minutes of this hell. You are at the whim of the goddess of fortune. Cross your fingers and hope to God that your ball goes in the right direction, cause that's pinball. Hit the ball, watch it go, mash the D-pad. You can definitely control the ball's movement a bit, just a bit, just enough to create the illusion of control. The goddess of fortune dangling a carrot in front of your crying eyes, just out of reach, just to mock me. Well, I will not be made a fool of. You will not break me. I will persevere in the face of your utter frustration. Damn you! Okay, we're good. Just needed to get that out. I will say that even as a self-proclaimed pinball hater, I am able to be objective. And although there is a lot to like here, I can see some definite flaws. Like other pinball video games that I've played, the physics can be weird and sometimes inconsistent. They just don't always feel right. Sonic feels very light. He feels almost like a beach ball more than a pinball. And sometimes when you hit him with the paddles, he just simply does not act how I would expect a pinball to act. I know that oftentimes that's just me being bad at the game, but it's definitely not perfect. And controlling Sonic normally, like walking around and jumping, it just feels awful. I know it's a very small part of the game, it's not a huge deal, but he controls really bad. The movement is choppy and his jump has a weird lag to it. Like a very noticeable lag. And nothing else in the game lags, just his jump. Oh, well that's just fun. Instant game over? Yes please. There was a time in this game where I just glitched through a platform. It's not game breaking. Honestly, it's fine. It's kind of a shortcut, but I think it's worth pointing out. But despite all of my overdramatic complaining for comedic effect, and even coming from someone like me who does not like pinball, I can say some nice things about this game. The game is actually really short, which could be seen as good or bad. Considering how difficult the game is, it's probably more on the good side. But that's just my take. 4 levels in total, the goal of each being to collect all the Chaos Emeralds and reach the end and defeat a boss. Getting the emeralds usually involves accomplishing a bunch of simple tasks, like reaching hard to reach places or killing certain enemies, basic stuff like that. And the boss fights are actually really fun. They're easy, which is probably why I enjoy them so much. They're just fun. I like the designs, I like whacking into them, the impact feels really good. This is to say the bosses that I was actually able to reach and fight. This game is annoyingly difficult and so frustrating that I feared for the safety of my controller at times. So I didn't exactly fight all of the bosses, but from what I did play, they were enjoyable. I kinda wish there were more of them, honestly. I also think that if you are a person who already loves pinball, then this game is a really good concept. And honestly, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Like I've said, my least favorite part of pinball is the lack of control you have over your ball and the seeming randomness of it all. But being able to control some of Sonic's movement in the game does at least partially remedy this. So I can only imagine that to someone who is good at pinball and does actually enjoy it, this game must be an extremely fun time. From the mouth of a person who does not enjoy pinball, especially in video games, I don't like this game very much. Crazy, I know. Honestly, I was kinda hoping I would. I can see the appeal, but for me personally, it's kind of just a repetitive slog of a ball going in all the wrong places before finally going where I want it to. Or I die. Or both. God, I hate pinball. I don't know why I thought this was a good idea. Like, I don't know why I thought reviewing Sonic Spinball would be a good fit for the show. I guess just so I can check it off the list of Sonic games to review. In the end, my final verdict is actually extremely simple. There's very little that's actually wrong with this game. The graphics and music are good, the concept is honestly genius considering how much pinball is already in Sonic games, and it's overall just a very creative endeavor. So if you already love pinball, you will love this game. And if you already dislike pinball, you'll probably hate the game. Even if you're a huge fan of Sonic games, if you don't like pinball, this isn't gonna change your mind. But yes, I will repeat, if you like pinball and you have not played this game, you should play it. Alright, the next review will be on Sonic Frontiers. Finally. It is long overdue. Honestly, I can't wait to play it again and finally talk about it. Oh, come on!